Check. Test, 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 test. Hey friends, good morning. It's Sunday, I think. This week has been hard for me to tell what day it is. There have been so many challenges in the act of staying still, or at least being in one place, and I think that there's a big difference. So maybe my lesson to you today, which I usually say at the front of the class anyway, is to remember that just because you're in one place, one physical location, doesn't mean you're being still. And that we could all benefit tremendously from the opportunity to sit still from time to time. So let's see if we can get there today. Have a seat, blanket, blocks, whatever's comfortable. I'm just going to check on one more thing and then we'll get going. Check. Okay. In the spirit of Sunday, since it is that official day on the calendar, let's start a little bit slower today. So find that position where those sits bones are comfortably underneath you. The head and the neck might require a few extra activities to settle down. There might be room for you to relax the jaw, the space at the top of the jaw up here where it hinges into the cranium, and then the space between the eyebrows where you can simply relax and let go. It's not so simple, but we'll give it a shot. If you're comfortable closing your eyes, feel free to do so. If you're more comfortable finding one spot to stare at, just one spot on the floor in front of you, by all means, go right ahead. Big inhale. Big exhale, however it comes. Out the nose, out the mouth, let it go. Let's do two more like that. Inhale. Exhale. One more. Full breath in. Full breath out. And when you arrive at that place in this opening meditation, see if you can shift the weight just a little bit further out of wherever you're holding it. See if you can allow the tension, wherever you're storing it, to soften just 10% more. In our practice, we seek not the final destination, but just shifting a little further down the path. In the instance of yoga, it is often best to step back in order to move forward. What we're stepping back from is that everyday hustle, that every moment work or activity. And what we would be moving forward on would be our dive deeper into ourself. They're not so much opposites, but we have to learn to focus our attention on the areas that we choose to cultivate. Just a couple more deep breaths here. very nice to be here this morning. As you come back into your body, begin to draw more awareness of those tools that we use to move through everyday life. Your fingers, your face, your jaw. Let's do that. Inhale. Exhale. It took me a very long time to be comfortable sitting on the floor. I think it's one of the more uncomfortable postures that we take in yoga. So let's move on to our hands and knees and start our practice in a traditional cat-cow position. We will, of course, move a little slower. As promised, if you like a blanket for the knees, by all means, I'm going to choose to do that. My left knee's been tweaky as of late. Spread the fingers out wide, tuck the thumbs in slightly. Find that position between the knees where the hips have lots of room to move. And then on your inhale, begin to pull the heart belly forward, lift the tail. And on your exhale, tuck the chin, round the spine, press through the fingertips. We'll continue like that. Inhale, heart forward. Exhale, rounded spine. Inhale, heart forward. Exhale, rounded spine. One more. Rounded spine. Coming back to a neutral position, walk the hands forward into an elongated, modified plank. We're not going to lower down. We're just going to work our way into this half plank, modified plank. It's very easy to collapse the low back here, so see if you can draw the belly up and in. Tilt the tail, the pelvis, slightly toward the toes, which might require the feet to pop up here off the floor. Press into the knees, though. Press into the index finger and the thumb. Take an inhale. And then on your exhale, just push back toward child's pose. You don't have to get there. We're going to come back up right away. It's inhale forward all the way into that plank. Exhale back all the way toward the child's pose. Two more. Inhale. Exhale. Full breath in. Take the entirety of the breath to pull you all the way forward. Lengthen the back of the neck. And then all the way on the exhale back toward hips to heels. We can stay in this child's pose or something closely approximating it. A few breaths here. And then coming back up to tabletop. Now we're going to mix those two actions together, the cat-cow and the plank, modified plank, and child's pose. So it'll be a inhale cow belly in the usual way. Exhale cat back. Inhale modified plank pose. Exhale toward the child's pose. Coming up, inhale, cow belly. Exhale, cat back. Inhale, modified plank. Exhale, child's pose. Let's do two more. Inhale, cow belly. Exhale, cat back. Inhale, modified plank. Exhale, hips to heels, child's pose. One more one like that. Inhale, heart forward, cow belly. Exhale, cat back. Modified plank. And then hips to heels, child's pose. Full breath here in child's pose. Inhale up to tabletop. Now from here, we're going to add in our modified chaturanga, so that lowering down, and a cobra pose. So that'll look like a walking of the hands forward. See if you can get as much length as possible, not craning the neck up, but pressing the top of the head toward the wall in front of you, and then bend the elbows to lower. Release the feet when you get there. Cobra pose. Back down to the earth. It's up through modified plank, hips to heels, child's pose. Inhale, tabletop, cow belly. Exhale, cat back, rounded spine. Inhale, modified plank. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, cobra pose. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, tabletop. Exhale, child's pose. Let's do two more. Inhale, cow belly. Exhale, cat back. Inhale, modified plank. Exhale, lower down. Take the entire breath to make your inhale and lift for cobra. And the entire breath to lower back down. Push up and through. Hips to heels. Child's pose. And then we'll bounce back up and do it one more time. I can't remember if that's what I said, but I mean it this time. Inhale. Exhale, cat back. Inhale, modified plank. Full exhale to lower down. Inhale to lift. Exhale to lower. Push up. And then back to your child's pose, or whatever is comfortable here. Take a few breaths. Just enough to get going this morning. Okay. We're going to add even more into that. So this is a rubric or a structure that you can use on your own when you don't know where to start. You get on your mat and you do some cat-cows and you see what happens from there. And honestly, there's nothing creative or flowy or particularly impressive about what we do up here than what you do on your mat at home. It doesn't have to be strange and bendy. It just has to feel good in your body. And usually these basic yoga asanas are what makes the difference. So we'll add in our downward dog, and that's the only addition, and or of course full plank if you'd like. So starting in tabletop, inhale, heart forward. Exhale, rounded spine. Inhale, modified plank. What are you doing? Come here. Come here. Exhale, lower down. Lift for a cobra. Exhale, back down. Push up to table. And then as you walk your hands backward and tuck your toes, belly close to thighs, maybe it's time to lift up to downward dog. I think Piggy just heard her name. Oh my goodness, she's so cute. Couple breaths here. And then back down to tabletop. Inhale, cow belly. Exhale, cat back. Inhale, modified plank with option to pop up to full plank. Exhale to lower down, option for chaturanga. Backward bend, could be cobra or up dog. And then make sure you move comfortably back, belly toward thighs, and then choose either to extend the legs for down dog or to stay for child's pose. Couple more breaths here. We've got room for 2 more. Tabletop. Cat, cow. If you're going to do that over there, Piggy, you should just come do it over here on camera. Come here. Walk hands forward, plank or modified. Exhale, lower down. Backward bend. And then make your way back to down dog. Two breaths. Table. Inhale, heart forward. Exhale, cat back. Inhale, plank or modified. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, backward bend. Exhale, downward dog. When you get to the down dog this time, or the child's pose this time, hang out. Take a few deep breaths. And there you have it. We've made it from a very simple down dog to a fairly warm, very simple tabletop to a fairly warm downward facing dog. That took 20 minutes, friends, and that's it. That is enough practice to bring you into your body on any given day. It doesn't have to be the full hour. You can break this down for yourself at home, as simple as that. When you're ready, come back down to tabletop if you're not there already, and meet us for some lunges. Let's step the right foot up to the front. Bring 2 hands to the right knee. Check on that left knee. You're working ankle and knee in line-ish. If it's more comfortable to have the toes tucked, that's fine. Puts a little more pressure on the ACL, MCL in the knee side. So bend into this knee and then back the hips up and then bend into it and then back the hips up and then bend into it. And let's hold here in our low lunge Anjani Asana. You can relax the fingers down by your sides, let them dangle, roll the shoulders slightly back, or you can sweep them up overhead for a full extension here. You're not just going to extend the arms, but you're trying to pull yourself to the ceiling as much as you are pushing down into the floor. Big inhale. Big exhale. Lengthen up through the back of the neck, nice and long. And then exhale, hands down to the mat. We'll step back to tabletop. We'll throw in some room for some cat and cow. This makes it your flow. And there's plenty of room here if you would like to explore moving into plank, lowering down, taking a backward bend, and moving back to downward facing dog. Stepping the left foot up to the front of the mat. Release the right toes if they're tucked under. Hands can come to the left thigh. And we'll start in this lunge here by backing the hips up and then bending into that knee. Backing the hips up. Bending a little more into the knee. Back the hips up. Exhale into that lunge. Hold the most, I'm tired of the word comfortable. I need to stop using it. I don't like it. The most challenging, opportunistic, the spot where you're balancing your effort and your ease. I mean, that is what we're looking for in the word asana posture, or to arrive in a seat. It's just this is a different version of what that seat looks like. Big inhale, big exhale. One more full breath in, reach for the sky, press down into that right knee, and then exhale, hands down to the mat. I usually swing the leg around like so, then make adjustments to arrive in down dog. And once I found that inhale breath, that's what sends me forward. Exhale breath to lower down. Down dog. 5 breaths here, friends. That's 1. 2. 3. 4. 5. All right. Bringing the right foot to the front of the mat. Let's take a modified version of Warrior 2. I taught this yesterday. I like it a lot. Wiggle the right foot to the front of the mat and into the middle. And then kickstand your left knee and shin over to the other side of the mat. So you've got one leg going this way and then this right leg out. Now for some of you at home, and I'm thinking of you specifically, Dean, if you're out there, that maybe a block is a better position for this modified version, or for any lunge, to be honest, as long as the kneecap are fine. And then bend into this right knee here and reach out through 2 wrists. So I am feeling a lovely stretch across the front side of my left hip, but I'm still pulling my right hip into its socket as I push firmly down to get taller out of the waist. I'm not sinking into the hips, I'm lengthening up out of the waist. And then the hairs on the top of my foot are a little annoyed. So to flow here, we'll do as we've done in the past. Take that right hand, sweep to the sky, reverse warrior, but we'll come right back to Warrior 2. That's 1, let's do 2 more. Inhale. Back to the Warrior 2. We'll hold. One more breath here. Finish the exhale. And then bring hands down to the mat. Wiggle that right foot back behind you. Move the block out of the way if you don't need it. And find yourself in tabletop for cats and cows, or downward dog, or anything in between. Other side would mean stepping the left foot up to the front. Kickstanding that right shin off so it's more or less perpendicular to the mat, and then bending into that left knee while pressing into the right knee and reaching the arms opposite directions. Left hand, inhale, reverse warrior. Back to warrior two. Inhale, reverse warrior. Back to warrior two. Inhale, reverse warrior. Back to warrior two. Hold and reach. Pull everything apart. Lengthen the back of the neck here. And then swing two hands to the floor. Move that foot around behind you. And find your flow. Remember, the flow is subjectively your own. And so the shapes that you choose to take are good enough for you. And since you're doing it for yourself and no one else, you've done it correctly. Moving that right foot back up into this warrior two position. Don't worry, we're going to get going here. Finding that modified version, knee down. If this is too much on your knee and you're really not feeling it, pop up to a normal warrior two-ish position. We'll move from two to extended side angle 3 times and hold on that side angle, kind of like we did yesterday if you were here. Inhale, reach out through the fingertips. Exhale, elbow to thigh, left hand to sky. Woo, I feel that all the way down my left side. Inhale, back up. Exhale. Inhale, back to 2, press down. Exhale to that extended side angle. Reach, 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 reach. And then maybe you even come toward the floor with that right hand, but you're lifting up out of the left waist, rib cage, all the way through that left thigh. This kind of length or extension is what we are looking for on the left side of our extended side angle, even when that full leg is extended. We'll get there in a sec. I always get ahead of myself. Reach out. Inhale back to warrior two. Hold for just a second. And then we'll bring the hands to the mat. Swing it around. Tabletop cat-cow. Down dog and hold. Or flow, modified or full version of vinyasa. And then we'll do the other side. So it's left foot up, right foot sets up in whatever version of warrior two you're taking. Out through the two wrists. Inhale. Exhale. Extended side angle. Inhale up, warrior two. Exhale. Extended side angle. Inhale. Full breath out as you exhale into side angle pose. Reach, reach, reach. Push, push, push into the left foot. Out of the right waist. Inhale, back up, warrior two. Exhale down. Take it back to what we call our resting posture. Could be tabletop, could be child's pose, could be down dog. We'll take 4 more breaths here. One more. All right. From tabletop position, turn across your mat. We'll go 2 feet out for wide-legged forward fold. Now, you don't have to do any fancy dives or flops or flows to get into this. Look, here we are. So I like to make sure there's a bounce to the knees, and then it's almost as if I'm headed into that super wide-legged down dog, and then let the head drape down. You're not craning it underneath you. You're focusing here more on lengthening the back of the neck and allowing the belly to fall in between the knees. Take a couple deep breaths here. And then go ahead and slowly walk your hands back in, heel toe the feet in so you have stability. I tend to slightly overextend in that one. Find a block if you have one nearby, board game, small puppy, and bend your right knee. Let's come up onto the left heel today. So I've fully extended my left leg right now, which means it's locked out. I'm gonna bend that knee and pull it toward myself. This will be our balance posture today. If this isn't working for your right knee or your right foot or ankle or toes, stay up on that right foot. You could work this left foot a little bit straighter or flatter toward the floor. Looking for engagement in the inner thigh while you pull in. A little more space out of the waist. And if you're being optimistic, it's 1 hand or 2 hands to the chest. You gotta come over here to do that. You can't do that over there where no one can see you. Dog. Switch sides. Oh. Takes a little bit of a setup here to create this sort of eccentric contraction on the inside of the right thigh, pulling in. I like to keep the knee slightly bent. Toes can be involved as well. And then there's room to balance. Whoop. Back toward the middle. Let's take a little shorter version of our wide-legged forward fold. So not the widest version, but bend the knees deeply even more. Make sure that your belly is hitting your thighs, even if it's just the outside. And then get a hold of the outside edges of your feet, calf muscles, and give a little tug. Focus more on what is happening here in the torso between the hips and the shoulders than what's happening in the back of the legs. One more. Release, walk those hands forward. Find lots of room to breathe here. Big inhale, big exhale. And turn to the front of the mat and come back to your resting pose. Down dog. Rights, lefts, lefts, rights. Awesome. Keep breathing. Okay, from your downward dog, warrior tabletop, right foot to the front of the mat. Left foot spins out. We'll come up to warrior two. Same adjustments apply here. You want a sensation of pushing down, particularly through the inside edge of this left foot, and pulling in through the right hip. Your two hips toward each other, up out of the waist, belly draws in. Arms reach in opposite directions. Right hand, inhale, reverse warrior. Exhale through to warrior two. Two more times. Inhale, reverse warrior. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, reverse warrior. Exhale, warrior two. Reach out through the wrists, pull them apart. Exhale all the way down to the mat. Push back. You might find yourself in plank pose. Use the exhale breath and all of it to lower down. A backward bend, and then back to table or downward dog. 2 breaths. Left foot, step up. Right foot spins. Warrior two. Pressing down firmly through the right heel. Drawing the left hip into the socket, trying to pull the belly up in just a little bit more. Inhale, left hand to the sky, reverse warrior. Exhale through to warrior two. 2 more. One more. Inhale again. All the way down. You might once again find yourself in plank. Maybe at this plank juncture you realize, I'm going to set my hips back toward my heels. Back up to tabletop. Right foot back forward once again. Find yourself in warrior two. 3 times. Inhale, expand. Exhale, extended side angle. Inhale, expand. Reach out. Exhale, extended side angle. One more. Full breath in all the way. Reach up. Pull the arms apart. Exhale. Extended side angle. Push down into the left foot. Right elbow. Reach longer through the side. And we will hold here for 5 breaths. Two more. Finish this exhale. All the way back up. Warrior two. All the way back down. Step it back. Your choice. Left foot, front of the mat. Warrior two. Whee! Here we go. Inhale, pull the arms apart. Exhale, left elbow down, right hand up. 2 more. Full breath in, press down through the feet. Full breath out, pull your heels toward each other. All the way on the inhale. Get a little bit more air. Draw the belly in even as you exhale, extend, press down, lengthen, hold for 5 breaths. Inhale up, warrior two. All the way down to the mat. Last opportunity for all that business, friends. We'll hold in table, down, dog, or child's pose for 5 breaths. It's 1. 2. 3. 4. When you finish 5, make sure you end up in a comfortable, fully resting position. If that's still child's pose, great. If you need that block underneath your forehead, great still. And once you're done with those breaths, switch over into a seat. Okay. Whew. Let's go right foot into the thigh, left leg out to the side. We'll turn toward the left toes, soften the left knee, and focus more on lengthening up out of the waist, and then bringing belly to thighs. If you happen to have two blocks handy and your foot's not in reach, you can get a hold of those blocks. And then just work your way belly to thigh first. You're zipping the gap up from the hip crease to the knee. So eventually, it's chest to knee, and then forehead to big toe. Probably not, but most of our torsos are not the same length as our legs, even in the best of circumstances. So you would have to crane that foot up to the face, which is not generally the way the knee bends. So think more about lengthening out of the waist and less about anything else. All right, come on back up. Keep your foot positioned the way it is. We're going to turn our body toward this left knee and throw in our twist right here. So left hand comes over, toward the right knee, and then I begin to move my torso toward the right thigh. This could be as far as I go. Now if this left hip pops up quite a bit to do that, back out. Squeeze the left hip into the floor and push against the right knee and left hip. Those are your two primary points of contact here. Push, and then this is just extra. The arm, the hand, whatever happens over here to the right, not a big deal. Come back in to center. Whew. And we'll switch directions. Bringing the right foot out and the left foot in. Turning over this right knee. Bend to the knee first and foremost. Lengthen up out of the waist. And then bring belly to thigh. Hands to wherever they land. Floor, blocks, calf, foot, small puppy. Inhale, lengthen the back of the neck. Exhale, one more. And then back up. Okay, keep that leg where it's at. Turn toward the left knee. Press into the right hip. And grab a hold of the left knee with the right hand. Push down into those 2 points and begin to move the belly first. And then maybe the chest will come around as well. And the chin might line up with the belly and the chest, but that's as far as they need to go. And then you might take the eyeballs over to the left. Exhale deeply. Come here. Come back into center. Finally, Papa. People were starting to think you didn't exist. Okay, stinky dog. All right, we're not done yet, but we're almost done. That's how you know. Okay, sit up nice and tall. Come on. Lay down. Lay down. Good girl. Big deep breaths. it's comfortable for you to take a cross-legged position here, sitting up on a blanket or a block or two, or a bolster. Find that final seat before we move into Shavasana. Relaxing the shoulders, maybe rolling them slightly, relaxing the jaw and the chin, allowing the eyes to be soft and blink open. Sit up tall. If it's comfortable again for you to close your eyes, you're welcome to do so. Continue to focus your gaze on one point. Maybe even internally focus your gaze at one spot. Could be in between the eyebrows. A couple more breaths here. Exhale deeply. When you're ready to make your way into your final resting pose, I'll trust you to do so in your own time, in the own way that works for you. Please do take Shavasana. Do not skip this part of class. You are all prepped and ready for it. That being said, thank you so much for being out there, for being here at the same time. Both are true. And if you'd like to support us on Patreon, go to patreon.com/commonbond. We're at 97 patrons. Just got 3 more go to make it to 100. Your support is greatly appreciated. Thank you. Peace.